Okay, so what we do is we move on to our next section, which is the panel discussion. And I would like to invite the panelists one by one. And our next panel discussion is on AI in talent management, the next step. And we have Mr. Ramanathan Balasubramaniam, who is the DGM for Sun Pharmaceuticals. Sir, kindly please come on the stage. We have Mr. Davis John, Head of HR Business Services, Raymond Reality. Sir. मैं अगला नाम तभी लूँगा एक बार जब डेविस सर will be on the stage. Mr. Nishant Agarwal, Head of Talent Development and LNOD, Dov Kettle, Dr. Ujjwal Sen Gupta, Deputy General Manager, Geo, Dr. Shamishta Roy Chaudhary. Surabhi, is she here? She was here, right? So Dr. Shamishta Roy Chaudhary, CHRO VForm Technopax, and Mr. Kiran Prasad Ivaturi, Group CHRO Abhinandan Ventures. And to moderate this topic, full of these powerful people, we have to have a powerful moderator. And can I invite Ms. Alapaini Deshmukh, right? Have I pronounced it correctly, please? No, I really want to pronounce it correctly. Alapini. Ms. Alapini Deshmukh, HR lead. So when we chose this panel for AI in talent management, the next step, we actually saw that what is it that they have written in their award nomination or the profile, etc. on LinkedIn. And this was handpicked after that. So one of the people, one of the panelists actually also won the award in digital learning. He's sitting right there in the center, Ramanathan sir. Right? So do we have all the mics here? And publicly, a thank you to Alapni ma'am for giving us that small gift. So she's there? Okay. Can I request the panelists to just wait for maybe 1 more minute, maybe? Because Dr. Shamishta Roy Chaudhary is just here. And in the meantime, okay, she's already there. Shamishta ma'am, we just made it hectic for you. You just arrived and you wanted to on the stage. So that's Dr. Shamishta Roy Chaudhary, CHRO VForm Technopax, our panelist for the topic AI in talent management, the next step. So over to you, Alapni ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for this response. I so need that after having arm rust. And I would admit I had my second dose as well. It was so good. And I think when I was interacting with few of them, they generally say, right, after post-lunch, the sessions are too difficult, right? I have smiling face. To keep them awake, what do? Sing, dance. But I think we have amazing panel here. And I think those insights, I'm sure I'll try to make them dance on my tunes, probably, but with their experience and insights, I think we will all stay awake for a long time. But thank you so much for joining back. And the hall is still full, so great. The topic, AI in talent management. When I was coming to this place, I passed through the Thakur Mall, and I'm not sure if most of you have passed through it, and I think there's a defense force set up there. And it was mentioned, Shastra hi Shakti hai. So for a moment, I think I read it as Shastra hi Shakti hai. Okay? And I think with AI, is it Shastra? Is it Shakti? I think let the panel reveal that. Yeah? I think how do we use that? Do we use to combat? Do we use it to defend ourselves? I think let's explore that. So welcome everybody post-lunch. And I'm sure we would unravel the paradox that we have in terms of using AI. And Xapsol team, I think we are really at the crossroads. So thank you for getting all of us here and the venue partners. I think the ecosystem speaks a lot, right? Yeah. My bad, my bad. Okay. No, my bad. Yeah, you got it right. Well, just to keep you all awake, a quick show of hands. Yeah, a quick show of hands. How many of you think you're using AI unintentionally? A quick show of hands. Yeah, all of us? Yeah. Okay. How many of you are using AI at an organization level in some forms, tools, some transformations done? All of us, right? So I think today we are really at the crossroads of making the decision which were earlier based out of gut. We would say we would take a decision based out of intuitions. Then we move towards data-driven decisions. And yes, here we are today discussing would we take our decisions based on AI, right? So let's figure it out and unravel this paradox of what's talent management and do we still need AI? Definitely yes, but how do we make it Shastra or Shakti? Yeah? So over to you. Well, just a quick note to all of you. Like the team said, this was impromptu, so even for me, I wasn't aware who would be the panelists. So it's equal surprise for me as well. So we will explore as we navigate the session. I think the first one, if you all could share a quick input on how many of you, think that we require a different approach altogether for a talent management. Do you think do we require, or we've already arrived in your organizations, or any examples that you would like to quote? Starting, yes, yeah, please go ahead.
So, in my opinion, what I have felt in my organization, which is Dovkirel, primarily into manufacturing of specialty chemicals, that the space is evolving at a breakneck speed. And initially, we thought that Copilot is a good tool where we can just go with it. But then we realized that probably there are better tools. So in that sense, it is too early to say that probably we are settled in a way that this is going to be the tool of the future. But we are still grappling with the situation and taking a call that this is good or this is bad. So with that sense, I would also add that about Shastra or Shakti, that it is important that we have a clear guardrail as well. And that's the first and foremost important thing for me. So what we have done is we have created a clear framework, which means that anything which is confidential should not go and uploaded on the chatbots. Right. Then we have L, which is leverage purposefully. Don't be lazy thinker. You have to be a smart thinker where you amplify your thinking using AI. Then E is for evaluate, where you have to realize one thing, that AI is articulate, but at the same time, it is confident, articulate, but can go wrong. We have seen the memes about the mushroom, right?
Very true.
So in that sense, you have to evaluate. And then it's about adapt. It has to speak your language. I've seen a lot of people using vocabulary which is completely full of AI jargons, like Foster and all things. But eventually, it should adapt to your language and what you speak in a daily language. And R is review. Anything which you send, you should own it. So with that, it can become a Shastra or Shakti.
Beautiful summed up, right? A round of applause. I think we were. So David, coming back to you, would you like to add any specific case for talent management that you're using in your organization?
See, we have actually making a first attempt, the first baby step, because we are into real estate, and not only in talent management, across the business. For example, if we are creating a dashboard for all the functions in real estate, wherein we are using AI. So that, and this year's AOP consists of digitalization of through AI for all the functions we have having a dashboard on that. And how is it? For example, how till now we were working on Excels and humans, that what they report back to the base is what is really taken. Now what, and keeping in mind DPDP Act also, which is one of the major things which we have to keep in mind when we are actually implementing AI. So not only in talent management, but in businesses also we are using AI. I'll just give a quick one example is, even how will a CEO know in which tower, which slab has been done? At his desktop or a palm top or a mobile. So now today we are working towards that he will be able to know where what is happening, whether it is construction, whether it is talent management, or whether it is liaison, where is the liaison got stuck, how is the regulatory affairs going on, how is the financial dashboards happening, what is the net cash flow, how is it red or green, like that. So we are actually we have taken a baby step, and this complete year, financial year, we are digitalizing every aspect of our business. So HR also, we are making an attempt, and I'm sure we are going to succeed in that. So when I say, for example, in talent management, if I say even hiring or recruitment, talent acquisition, it makes your life so easy that, for example, when you do a posting on Naukri, you get so many CVs. And most of the CVs, when you have to have a recruiter sitting and screening through those 1,000 CVs, of which there will be only 5 or 10 relevant CVs. Otherwise, those CVs would be like somebody, a plumber, mechanic, or something. So what AI can do is it can actually screen it for you, give you the best 5 CVs, and then say that these are the CVs which align to your job description, and it aligns to what you're looking for. So my recruiter's time has come down. My cost on recruitment has also come down.
Right.
So that is one aspect I wanted to highlight now.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned, Evis, is I think the organization, we're trying to have it not just at doing the work in AI in silos, but I think considering something at an enterprise level. And that's when we will see how do we co-connect everything at an enterprise level. So coming to you, Ramnath sir, any specific use case that you would like to share from your organization?
Hi. So good afternoon. At the outset, let me thank Xapsol, Dave and Upma for this invite, and the jury members for the award. Thank you so much. I'm in the LNOD space. I take care of the capability development of fairly large field force. We have just started using AI.
Sure.
So it's still a baby step, I would say. And there's a huge scope for going further. The best benefit we find is when it comes to giving a feedback, the field force managers giving a feedback on the communication with the customers. There are a lot of emotions that come in, and the feedback doesn't actually reach. And this is where AI is very helpful. They receive the feedback very well, and they find a significant improvement. I mean, the attempt to improve,
Right.
the intent to improve increases, and they improve.
Wonderful. Yeah. I think you mentioned a very critical word here, capturing the emotions. Anybody in the audience, probably you have any example to share where you using AI to capture employees' sentiment or their emotions, and anyone? Or, yeah, please, Ritu, ma'am, go ahead. Okay, sure. Right. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful use case, right? Where you are co-connecting something which is very artificial with something which is real, which is the emotion part of it. Yeah, Dr. Rapan. So this is such a real-time example, right? Like as and when an employee would give the input, you would have something as dynamic as it could, because otherwise the surveys are redundant, and we all know the pain of sending it over and over again with the reminders that get into it. Yeah, Nikhil, please go ahead.
So we are using AI to capture customer feedback. It's not just restricted to employee, but I think it's important that we enhance that and further spread it elsewhere. But in addition to capturing customer feedback, we're also using AI to respond appropriately, correctly, identify, first of all, whether the sentiment is positive, neutral, or negative. Right. Evaluate and then appropriately respond to the customer, because the kind of feedbacks that we receive in one day it's in thousands. Yeah. Right? Number of passengers itself is more than 5.5 lakhs every day. Right, Mumbai Metro 1. So, in order to respond, capture, and analyze all these feedback processes, AI really helps.
Right. I think.
But we still can't capture sarcasm.
I could have asked you that because Metro is so widely used in Mumbai, right? So I'm sure you did mention sarcasm, but I'm sure the moment you build up that LLM, it would capture even that part of it soon. So yes, I think emotion that you touched on with AI, I think is very relevant. Ujjwal, coming to you, any specific insight or use case that you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, certainly. Good afternoon, all of you. I represent Jio, and you all know that it's a digital company. It's not a telecom company per se. And we have been practicing AI since 2017. It's not a new thing for us. And we strongly believe that data is the new oil, and where we make lots of data analysis in terms of in the entire gamut of HR, right? Right from recruitment till exit of an employee. When it comes to implementation of AI, certainly we are no more on those days of generative AI. It's all agentic AI that we are focusing towards automation of the entire processes. Right from, because business is nowadays very, very demanding. I was speaking to my business head last week, where he was saying that, Ujjwal, why can't you deliver manpower within 6 minutes, like the way Zepto is doing? Right. So such a demanding are our customers nowadays. That we have to find areas, the geography where the manpower is right now located, and based on that, we have to figure out how we can source talent, right? So gone are those days where we do CV searching by ATS, keywords, whether the score is 90% or above, right? So we are more focusing how we can deliver manpower at a very, very fast pace and the right manpower. And so the expectation of TAT, of closing a position, has tremendously increased. See, AI can screen CVs, but the capability testing still remains on the recruiter. That we need to test that whether the person is suitable or not suitable. AI can certainly screen the CV, saying that ATS score is more than 90%, right? But still, in terms of screening the candidate's capability, it's a human element which is required. Coming to the employee experience perspective, right? What she mentioned about sentiment analysis. In the COVID days, I remember we used to do a questionnaire. Every morning, employees had to fill up a questionnaire, right? Whether the person is a smoker, anybody is having fever, cough and cold. And based on that is to figure out that the person is COVID prone or not COVID prone, right? The entire tool used to say that this person is prone to COVID or not prone to COVID. So there was a question of 10 questions where is to fill up. So in the similar fashion, we have a moodometer where the pulse of the organization is checked. It has to be real time. We cannot wait for a quarter to get over and do a pulse survey check that what are the issues of the customers. It has to be real time resolution of customers, that what issue, what they said, and what we have done. So you have to go back to our employees immediately that this, what he or she had highlighted during the skips, during the pulse survey, and this is the resolution that we have given. So employee experience, right, I'm saying about our customer experience has increased to a great extent. Whether it is PMS, whether it is, I'll give you another example. While I was doing my PhD in diversity and inclusion, I had approached one of the income tax commissioner at Kolkata for filling up a questionnaire, the survey questionnaire. He said that, the biasness which is there in terms of hiring, can you eliminate that? I asked him that what biasness are you speaking about? So he was a South Indian, and he said that there were a total of 5 positions to be filled in his team, and he had given the responsibility to one Mr. Mukherjee, and he hired all Dasgupta, Sengupta, Chaudharys, and all the Bengali community he had, right?
A lot of
So
bias that crept in.
So he said that, do I need to learn Bengali, after this? So, so the human biasness still persists. To remove this biasness, AI is certainly necessary. That we should do the selection based on the capability and talent. It is not. It should be. You should codify the CVs and remove the surnames from a candidate biodata, so that mental biasness doesn't happen. That this person belongs from this community, this person belongs from this community. Right? And organizations are practicing. In our IJPs, we do that, so that the biasness thing is eliminated. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So, another example I will give you in Geo, what we practice is the EWS, early warning system, the predictive analysis model. Right? So, we have to fill up every week, means the supervisor, team leaders has to fill up every week red, amber, green for every employee in the tool. And based on that, we can figure out which are my, red zone employees. Right. The HRBP counsels those employees and turns them, the red employees, to a green bucket. So at any point of time, you ask us that which are your red zone employees, we can easily figure out that. Having said that, we have also in the process of implementing 9-box strategy in terms of automation tool, we are automating the entire disciplinary process, that right from so that there is no manual intervention. And there is a TAT-driven approach, so that within 7 days, each and every disciplinary issue which is highlighted, that gets closed. Lots of examples I can give, but in the paucity of time,
Sure.
I will hand over to my next speaker. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Ujjwal, you made, I think you mentioned about hiring speed, right? And I'm sure we would soon have application from Reliance, be it in the form of manpower hiring, like a Blinkit or a Zomato. So I'm waiting for that.
Absolutely.
I think all of us are waiting for that.
Days are coming that, soon like that.
Yeah, and just to add a little sarcasm, I think they would arrive. How do we retain? It would be a question, and I'm sure you will have some application to even retain that. But thank you so much. David, I think you wanted to add some point, what in terms of the sentiment? Please.
Yeah. So we actually implemented in one of our business in Raymond, wherein there is a continuous feedback process happens,
Sure.
so that we don't wait for the annual survey and things are gone and we are dissecting the history for the future. So what we realized, even in the continuous feedback process, it is first the culture of the organization. Are we ready to take that feedback? And I have seen, because the feedback was the feedback which AI tool took and gave it to the HR treated it in a different way, and it was not handled well. And then thereafter, all the surveys were green. Super green, dark green. Okay, so that is what we have to be very mindful about, the culture. What kind of a culture are we setting up in the organization, one? And there are now situations wherein we are experimenting on hiring and screening. it is not the organization which has become smart, even the candidates have become smart.
Absolutely.
What they are doing is they are making the CVs using the AI tools, and they get it done that so that your ATS and your AI, it passes through it. And we have a example wherein it doesn't matches it, but it passed through. The 5 CVs which we get, the 4th one looks different.
Yeah.
And we called for the interview and it was different. And we understand that that candidate actually used AI tool to develop so that it passes through your AI tool.
Very true.
So the market is also becoming smarter. So you have to think. Third point I wanted to add is, as he rightly said, personal biases. When you are feeding into your AI process and systems, we should be very careful of our personal biases also, because that element of what he mentioned as a Bengali people getting hired, that can also get into your system if you have not feeded it right.
Absolutely.
That is one. And we have to even be very careful about AI hallucinates as well. So
Yes, I think that's what I think. We speak about human biases, and when we speak about hallucination, I think the input given matters, right? I think in the morning session, we did speak about some things are the byproduct, right? So I think if the data sets are, tuned in properly is when we'll get the correct output. Though we cannot eliminate the bias, but hallucination could be, again, tracked with different AI algorithms. So well said.
So our guardrails should be very, very strong, and it has to be foolproof.
Echo on that. So Nishant and Sharmishta, Kiran and Sharmishta, my bad. I think I had too much of armrest, probably. I think we've all of them spoke about how they are using AI, use cases in their organization. Do you still think we're holding up, to move this to entire talent management?
Okay, thank you. Thanks for Xapsol team to have me here. Okay, before I respond to your question, I just want to answer 2 things. As my friend has said that the CEO wants the talent in 6 minutes to 9 minutes, but yeah, we can deliver land worth in acres, in crores, by Jepto in 10 minutes flat. And that's House of Abhinandan Lodha for you guys. And I come from the group company called Abhinandan Ventures. We are delivering land online, and now we started delivering flats online. Erstwhile real estate company, everybody knows. We have another colleague from Raymond sitting over here. Okay.
Are you offering any discounts
yes,
today?
Just pay 1% every
us?
month. You can own a flat in Mumbai.
Oh, great.
Okay, that's a new scheme which we have introduced. Open to give you the details later on after this. AI as a principal methodology of doing things, our business operates on it. Especially 90% of my revenues come from this brand called House of Abhinandan Lodha. The 2 large brands, the growth housing and the land properties, both are sold through AI. And it's very simple. Okay, but the methodology of doing it is very, very difficult. Coming to the talent management, the question, within our ecosystem, we have identified 3 areas where we think that we can literally use AI without any ethical concerns or without any biases in place. One, especially in terms of identifying the talent categories. Because the methodology of doing business is through AI, there is no bias which is kicked in. Okay, everything is data prone. Erstwhile, lots of things used to happen in the relationships, the kind of distribution system or the distribution partners through which you do the business, that biasness have actually gone down to very minimalistic level now. What that enables is 70% of my population, which is my front line, is very clearly objectified and biases have gone to 0. That literally for the first time last year when we throughput the performance data for the sales team, we were able to close the rating in flat 2 days. I'm talking about close to 1,700 employees. And that could be possible only and only because of the kind of AI throughput data what we had, and system just throws it. And there's nothing, no one can even debate it or have a difference of opinion because it's an entire 12-month wrong data which is into the system.
Sure.
And that's possible. The second area which have taken nascent steps, okay, is in the area of recruitment. Okay, again, we are tackling with this biasness because we don't hire talent from real estate for selling our real estate.
Okay.
Okay, it's very, very clear. Okay, at a certain level and above, we hire for skill set, but not for the sectorial experience. In that matter, whenever we actually throughput and use lots of input AI tools, what market has today, invariably 70% of profiles come from the same sector. So we are still tackling as to how are we going to use the prompts or use the kind of codes, what we want to do. And, fortunately, there's one guy, one of our CTO of one of our company called Xanadu. We are trying to develop an internal engine saying that how can we do an internal tool, because they have developed a genetic AI tool to sell the flats. So can we actually use the same prompts to sell that, who can actually be the right talent for us? So we are evaluating it. We don't have an answer. Okay, but yes, hopefully over next 6 months or 1 year we should get some.
Yeah,
But this is what I just thought I'll present it. Personal experience, AI used in a right framework can give you a guidance, but decision is still human.
Absolutely.
That's what I feel, and that's the way we should move forward.
Yes, I think you touched upon zero bias. I think that is something to aim for. I think we would like to know more, probably in a break, how do you achieve that? Because as a human, we still go with judgments, right? Right when we meet that person, till we greet, and then obviously make those decisions. And now when we talk about the AI systems to be bias-free, how do we achieve that, right? So that's, I think, very pertinent, because we are judgmental at certain point, right? So Sharmishta, coming to you, how do you think organizations would require, the scaling up in terms of entire talent management for the AI suite? Everybody spoke about, their use cases. Would you like to, throw some light there?
Sure, Alapani. And hi, everyone. First of all, thank you, Crossroads HR. Thank you, Xapsol. Thank you, Ms. Agarwal. Thank you, Mr. Majumdar, Mr. Sahane, for bringing up this topic, because this is very, very, at the current moment, it is very contemporary, and your efforts, your visionary thoughts to talk about AI in talent management and what next. So yes, we have, I think, it's been quite long that we have been talking about AI in talent management. The topic about what next and what Alapani has asked, I think I have pronounced your name properly?
Yes,
Okay.
very much.
Yeah. So I think it is very important, but what my co-panel members have talked about, they are talking that human judgment is biased and AI is not biased. I would beg to differ to some extent. I would say AI is also biased, and it needs human to make it unbiased. Why? Because AI is basically, they are touching the patterns, right? The patterns, for example, if, let's say, Mr. Sengupta was talking that it is taking all Bengalis, right? And we are extrapolating those data and we are capturing it, thinking that it is non-biased. No, that's where human judgment is needed, and it needs to give that command that please select the members who are non-Bengali, please make it universal. That's when you get the right data from the AI. That is very critical, I think. Now, I represent an organization. I've worked for about 25 plus years. Most of my organizations I worked is a manufacturing sector. Manufacturing sector, and the current manufacturing sector is, I'm in, manufacturing of bottle caps and closures. I worked for manufacturing automobiles, chemicals, power and energy, but this current is a very traditional sector. In case if I have to ask what we do, what is the use case? Yes, we have started using AI to some extent, over and above the hiring part, ATS and all of that. So we try to use the predictive. We all know that HR is very reactive. Traditional HR has been always very reactive. So we are trying to shift from that reactive approach to a predictive approach. So what we do is we try to analyze, because in manufacturing, from the manufacturing and plant perspective, what happens is, the human talent management is not just a concept. it is more of everyday operation. And operations is critical, it has costs. Therefore, what we try to do is we try to make a analysis of the shift schedule, and we see where there is more fatigue and where there is productivity loss. We also we are trying to capture, we are not 100%, I wouldn't say, we're trying to capture whether, yesteryears we were just thinking, when there is a skill gap, we train. So we are trying to capture that where there is a critical skill difference, then we would not plan. We will see the requirement accordingly, will be proactive about the training, initiatives. So few of these, like for example, we also try to see where there, in future, where the operation, which plant would hit the operations if there is skill discrepancy. So these few of the cases where we are trying to, use AI and trying to find out whether we get a proactive approach for, getting this
absolutely
solutions.
makes sense. And I think not just proactive, I think from predictive to prescriptive analytics
Absolutely.
is what we would require, right? Because I think we have insights. Are we making the cut to make the impact is what would be described by a prescriptive analytics. And I think you touched upon that very critical point. Thank you, Sharmishta.
Thank you.
Now let's quickly find out. I think by now we all, I think, are aligned with the usage of AI. Now a quick real-time check. How many of you would, give your opinion with respect to promotion when it's given by AI? Would you promote somebody based on the AI, suggestion that's shared? No? Why not? We've heard so many things about AI. So good, all critical things. Human element, yeah. But I think, that still could be figured out, right? I mean, as the way they said, right, there would be patterns. Yeah, Nicola, I'll just come in a bit. So there are patterns, right? But then why is this paradox, right? Because I think these paradoxes need to be simplified for all of us here, right? When we are taking so many decisions in our personal lives, right, based on various tools that we might be using, right? But when it comes to probably a PMS, discussing a learning curve for somebody, we still have not used to the extent that we would, right? So I think that's something we would segue to the next segment, but I think Nikhil wants to make a point, and Arpita as well. Yeah,
so, I think basis the research, very clearly there are three competencies which distinguish AI from HI, or I would say the other way around, HI from AI. And everybody heard of the first two, right? One is empathy or emotional intelligence, right? The other is ethical judgment. Yeah, and the third biggest one, which covers what you've been talking about, is leadership. Monitoring, delegation, decision making. You need a person to be there. So when you're talking about appraisals or promotions, coming back to your question, you need somebody who's observed that, somebody who's assessed, somebody who's seen, somebody who's delegated, somebody who's monitored over, the past 1 year, somebody who has a team. Somebody has made those decisions that tumhe kaam nahi dena, tumhe dena hai, right?
Very well said. But
so those aspects can only happen when HI comes to the unless AI becomes AGI someday.
No, that's also nearing. But I think we would still go back and say, "Nee, that's my gut feeling," right? I think if we've come to an extent that we've taken some decision based on data, and I think I've also seen that bias. When data doesn't agree with you, we very conveniently said, "Let's take the human judgment." I think we also flip a little. Yes, ma'am, you.
I think, Alapani, we need to be more here. I'm sorry. I think I didn't take anybody's chance.
No, you go
Just,
ahead and then I just
yeah, I just want to add one thing. Here, AI is, we are always fearing that AI would take our job. But no, AI is not going to take our job. It is going to take a low judgment job for sure. But what it is going to do is, they will be our partner. We are collaborating with AI, because without human, the AI cannot work, and human, to increase the efficiency, needs AI. So it is at a collaboration. It is in a friendly win-win way, I would say.
Just make your co-pilot and run with that. Yeah, ma'am, you wanted to make a point, and then Arpita, if you could go next.
Yes, hi. So answering to the question, will you promote based on the AI solution? And adding to what Mr. Nikhil has said, I wanted to add one logical experience that I have. We usually give 1,000 prompts. Till now, we must have given so many prompts on our platform, ChatGPT or Gemini, any platform that we use. Why AI gives biased answers is because as it pulls the connections from all the previous prompts we have given, it will give the answer through which I will be satisfied. So somewhere it is biased to me, and I will not realize that, okay, I liked it. Because the AI has answered me, okay, promote XYZ person, but that is completely biased to me, but maybe, it's the other way around. So that is what I logically feel ki it should be the assistant, or as ma'am said, it's more of collaboration, but still it has to be our assistant is what I feel.
Yeah, I think human wisdom still is very relevant. Yeah, please go ahead.
I had the same discussion in front of Hitachi Group companies regarding this.
Okay, you covered that.
Why can't we have AI in this decision making of promotion or something else?
Right.
And diverse points came in, and I'll just summarize it.
Sure.
There will be a day when we will trust AI to do that. But that day is not today. I think I'm audible.
And the reason why that day is not today is that whatever use case we just spoke in the panel is that AI is dressed as an efficiency playbook, right? It will improve our efficiency. But a decision will only be accepted if it is logical in the eyes of our customers, and our customers are employees, right? So if an AI tool tells me that my promotion probability of this person is 34%, manager knows why, because manager has put in all those use cases scenarios, etc., etc. But the employee sitting at that side of the table won't be knowing it and won't be accepting it. And the logic behind this is that today all the AI systems which they sit inside a power structure. Somebody decides what data goes in, somebody decides what kind of output will be. The person reading that output also will be decided by the power structure. The person who will work on the red flags also will be decided by the power structure. So where in this is the objectivity of AI? It is objective for the manager, but is it fair for the person who is sitting on the other side? Today we are not there. There will be a day when we will definitely develop data systems and will clean up all the past historical biases, and that day we will be eligible to rely on AI, but today we have not achieved that. What we need today is a better AI governance, not just better AI adoption. And the governance shouldn't just be on the output, it should be on the kind of input we are feeding in. Is it an input which is baked in such a way that output is the way which I desire it to be? No. It should have been something which doesn't account my own inputs. So governance in both input as well as output is something we must strive to develop first, and maybe there will be a day in 3 to 5 years when we can rely on AI.
Yeah, let's
Just want to add one element over here, sorry. Just as what Arpita has said and even the gentleman there said, when I said that we used for the sales frontline, we used for enlargements but not for enrichments. When I say enlargements, when we want to move from a small project to the large project or give him some extra exposure or a beyond the role exposure, it's working very well. As everyone said that we took the data, the judgment is still human.
Yeah.
Okay, it can give you a guideline, it can give you a right methodology of focusing it to the right way. And what it happened is it has cleared out the unnecessary individual biases for the communication with the right employee. That's what is helping us. But yes, as Arpita said, and as the technology is improving, there might be a day where we can rely upon it. But as of now, personal experience, I don't think so we can rely upon, but we can use data.
Yeah.
Because the data earlier was in Excel, so we don't know how is it maintained, what is it maintained. Today it's not that. It goes through that filters. So the data comes really clean, and it gives right elements where you can start focusing upon.
Okay, I think
Alapani,
you can go ahead.
just two penny kind of comment.
Sure.
Since we are on promotion thing, even today how do you take promotion decisions? Is it 100% basis gut feel, or something backed by impressions coming out of the data sets? That is something we'll have to answer. I think like, largely our promotion decisions even today are largely, I'm ready to believe, if it or not, it is not true, then like, there's something wrong with like, the way we take the promotion decisions. I'm ready to believe that like, the element of discretion or gut feel is not more than 5%. Almost all roles, even if like, there are subjective roles or like, not coming out of like, performance proven, backed by data, I think like, you are able to reach to a stage wherein like, there is something that comes as a proof that like, somebody is performing at a particular level. And if that's so, and if at all we are able to fit that in an appropriate way, I think like, we are there. And I completely like, echo what Dr. Arpita said. If at all we are able to manage that appropriately, I think like, promotion recommendations coming through the engine, there is no harm in, see, conventionally, look at like, I'm giving examples. So conventionally we thought like, game of chess is very complex thing. When like, this thought came in, within 2 years, the computer was able to beat the world champion. Today we are discussing that like, AI would be able to do only conventional, rudimentary and pattern driven things. Case is not that. It is just opposite. Let me give an example. I am giving example from Nexus. Okay. We all believe that like, more technical or cerebral kind of like, jobs can't be done by AI. Take an example of hospital. Doctor's role is like, something which is very sacrosanct and can't be taken over by AI. But today we have the proof wherein like, AI will be able to take doctor's job, not nurse job.
I think I second on that because I come from a healthcare organization.
Nurse job is something like, see, we all thought and probably like, misunderstood what is automation and what is AI. Even if you take an example of like, very basic thing, like, for example, we were able to automate a lot of things in kitchen. Right. But believe me, invention of a dishwasher was the last thing that came in. And even today, even with the advanced robotics, you don't have the machine which picks up the plates from your table and puts into the basin.
I think the last mile job still we would require, and I think we
so
all in the room.
I think I'm ready to believe that like, yes, if at all we are able to address patterns, put like, governance structure. Dr. Arpita spoke about like, that AI governance and ethical use of AI. I think like, we all should be in a position wherein like, we should feel comfortable navigating. Let me give a real-time use case. In my company, any company filing for listing DRHP document runs anything between 500 to 1500 pages. And for one of the team which is responsible for listing approval or listing compliances, it used to be a Herculean task, like, roughly about like, 1 month in going through the clauses and checking. Today it is done instantly. I'm giving the real-time use of AI. So if at all we are able to create something through which we define that like, these are parameters, these are the specs through which like, patterns can be recognized, I think like, we should be able to coexist with like a new animal called AI.
Thank you so much. I think this is getting so engaging and engrossing conversation. I never anticipated it in the post-lunch session. So thank you for your energy and zeal. But I would also now like to hear it from the panelists. Okay, you want to add in? Okay, this would go on. Okay, Debashish. So if you're okay with that.
Can I request that this should put this as the last part?
Super quick one. The only thing I wanted to...
Achha, you have one more?
Yeah, I think I am obsolete by now. Yeah, please go ahead.
So sorry, I'll just quickly add in the next 30 seconds. Talking of chess and AI, yes, definitely chess as an AI or as a machine did defeat the world champion, but the world champion Magnus Carlsen was the only one who realized that the opposite person is using AI to cheat him. Hans Niemann. Now that judgment is a human judgment.
Yeah, and
I rest my case.
Yeah, thank you everyone for that, lovely insights. And just to add on that, because I think we are speaking a lot on chess. I think when IBM Blue, Gary Kasparov, I think very profound thing that he mentioned, Gary Kasparov, was like, I'm not disheartened that I lost, with AI, but I think I'm going to be friends with AI. And I think that's the spirit that we'll have to get back in the workforce. And I think, I'm sure you have a lot of insights. So can we quickly go on and hear on what would be the AI guardrails that you would like to put up, right? Because we've heard a lot of use cases, right? But I think with that, it is also critical what kind of a governance structure that we put in. Yesterday, I was there hearing Mr. Shroff mentioning that, especially in the legal framework, how would, framing this even as a policy would help us. So do you have something in your organization? Are you building on that? Would love to hear that.
So I spoke about the clear guardrail, which we have already laid down in the organization. I'll give you a use case for how are we doing it. So we were talking about the promotions. So we follow the 9-box talent matrix, wherein anybody who is popped in the 9th box, the top stars, should be given the opportunity when it comes. But the guardrail here is that we have a proper talent review committee, which will see that if the names which have popped up are right names or not. And this is proper mix where inclusive team is there.
Absolutely.
So that's one.
David, you want to add in on that?
Yeah, similarly, the same use case also we are using, especially for promotion as well, because you get data from for performance, potential, everything. But if that individual is not a great, he cannot become a great people manager. What about his behavior? So these are the guardrails we have to be mindful, wherein that decision has to be taken by a panel, a TRB, and then it should be taken off. It cannot be just left to AI to handle the entire process.
Sure, makes sense.
I'll pass it.
Yeah, certainly, data privacy is a topmost priority for organizations. In my organization, Copilot is a tool what we can use. We can upload data and analyze the data from by using Copilot. But any other tool what you use, automatic pop-up comes that if it is a company data and we have taken permission from the L1 and L2. And that's how, if we have not taken permission, then it's clearly goes to the L1 and L2 as a notification that this company data has got uploaded. So such is the restriction in terms of ethical usage of AI that we have adopted. Right. Having said that, very, very good inputs had come from you and sir, that you said about something input is what is output, right? So ultimately, very valid, whatever the input we are giving, we have to be like an orchestra player. Currently the scenario is that from one AI tool, you cannot expect everything. You have to use 2-3 different AI tools to get the correct output. Right, so I practice AI every day in, day out. Even my, because skill is the new currency, all of you. Skill is the new currency. I hope all of you believe that. Right, so we all need to, develop AI skills. Every day it is transforming. Believe me, when you attend these webinars, every weekend I attend webinars, and every weekend they come up with new AI tools. And things are going in such a fast pace. You just can't believe, organizations are becoming more and more demanding now. Right? There is nothing called data privacy. You go to Signal tool, you will get everyone's LinkedIn, contacts details, email ID, phone number, everything. Right? So AI, you just need to use the right tool to get the right output. It is organizations are looking for impact. What impact we are making by using AI? It's not a bubble. It is going to stay, and it is going to make a lot of difference in our lives.
Thanks, Sujal. Yeah. I think we will have to, hurry up a little because Debashish, I think, is all right. Are you okay to take last 2 questions with them? Okay, 2 minutes. Let's be quick. So, Kiran, Ramnath sir, and Sharmishta, what do you think should be a cultural mindset that needs to be perceived in the organization? Yes, we're talking about the tech, What kind of shift in the mindset do we promote to have the AI agility and adoption at an organization level?
I can tell you when we are implementing for the business or anything, one thing what we said is, don't reject at the first go. There's no at the first step. First accept it, acknowledge it. That's very, very important. Acknowledging what is happening is very important. Whether you want to accept it, agree to it is a different story, but acknowledge it. And how are we going to create forums or methodologies or reviews or mechanisms where people first acknowledge what is happening? So first, for example, when we said that we are going to sell flat only through AI tool, okay, it has shown up the data which was for a typical real estate professional who has worked in area for 10, 12 years, it's very, very different. But the point is the chairman himself sat in that meeting and said that let's first understand that. What is it saying?
Sure.
And he himself first tried to buy a flat. Okay, so once you acknowledge, things will improve. And that's what we are, at least what we did in the company.
Acknowledge, then accept, and then scale it up.
You agree or disagree, and
Yeah, sure. Ramnath sir, would you like to add? And then Sharmita, if you could add your perspective as well.
I think today the adoption of AI is so huge. Every employee is actually using AI.
Yeah, in a personal capacity, yes.
In their personal capacity. So the culture of using AI is there. We only have to facilitate the process.
Sure.
For want of time, I'm just passing.
I think all my co-panelists have spoken about whatever, but I think it is about ethics, accountability, and control. So that says all, I guess. We all are using AI. We should keep using it, but we need to have a human approach to whatever we are using it, and let us be very transparent to it. That's
Absolutely fantastic, listening to you. Yes, please.
So I'm going to talk about a tool, a use case for the L&D folks. So please raise your hand if you are an L&D professional. Okay, this is especially for you. So the biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenge which we face in L&D is content creation. And in content creation, I have seen that largely we are either relying heavily on ChatGPT or something like that tool, like Gemini. But what we have felt is that thanks to Geo, that you can get a Google AI Studio all free of cost for 1.5 years. And in that, your workflow should be, if you get data from subject matter experts, and if you want to create in inclusive languages like Marathi or any other language, you can use Notebook LM, you can use Whisk, and you can use Flow to create SCOM level 2.5 content, which you can show for high ROI for your management. That's it.
Wonderful. I think that's perfect way to even summarize your ROI part of it. Wonderful. Thank you all so much for your wonderful insights. And thank you, audience, for your zeal and enthusiasm. Just to sum it up, I think what we've seen today, listening to all of you, as an organization, definitely we have a lot of AI tools. What we require is the AI courage and the human wisdom to be applied to take it ahead, to look into the scale, sustainability, and the speed, managing the entire guardrails that we spoke about. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much to all the panel members and moderator. Please kindly wait. We have your, the certificates, and that has been given by you only. Right. So, guys, you ready? So, Satya, you there? If you can join the stage. Satya says no. Okay. So the certificates for being the panel member, and thank you so much for that. And Alapani ma'am, right? Alapni ma'am and Satya, please do the honors to Mr. Nishant Agarwal, to Mr. Ramanathan Balasubramaniam. Sorry, the sequence is Mr. Davis John after this. Mr. Ramanathan Balasubramaniam. Mr. Ujjwal Sen Gupta. Mr. Kiran Prasad Evaturi. Sir, would like to know more about that 1%. Wow. And Dr. Shamisha Roy Chaudhary. Finally, Davis sir, we have some sales. Okay, I will also request all the panel members and the moderator and Upma and Surabhi, our directors, along with Satya. So please be there for the group photograph. Kindly stay back for the group photograph, please. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. I always knew, when Surabhi was talking about कि AI डालते, मैंने कहा मत कर यार, 30 मिनट का 1 घंटा होने वाला है. And that happened. This one topic just doesn't complete. Thank you so much. So what we'll do is we'll go back to our award sections, and I'll request CEO of Rambhau Mhalgi Prabodhini, Mr. Shailesh Gokhale, to please be on the stage. I'll also request Surabhi Agarwal, our Director Marketing, to be on the stage for this section. Thank you so much, both of you. And we will first continue with the screen. The one which we actually missed, and Saleh, sir, if you can just be in the center of the stage. And this is what we missed, and this goes to the person who was actually talking about AI and HI. So best use of AI in learning and development, pioneered AI-led precision L&D by integrating generative AI frameworks and behavioral analytics to scale learning, enhance assessment accuracy, and accelerate workforce capability development. Mr. Nikhil Bhojwani, Head L&D for Mumbai Metro 1 Private Limited, Reliance Group. And Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And while you were giving your opinions and thoughts, I was wondering, this gentleman just got the AI and L&D award. So.
But I still have a lot of respect for AI.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I actually echo that, by the way. Just Surabhi and Saleshji, please stay back. And we move on to the next section of our awards. And this was of the previous section, by the way. And for the next section of the award, we start with the Emerging HR Business Partner, BFSI. And the award goes to Mr. James George, who drove rapid BFSI growth as an emerging HRBP by strengthening talent pipelines, reducing attrition, accelerating hiring, and enabling leadership development through data and AI-led interventions. So Mr. James George, Chief Manager HR, ESAF Small Finance Bank. Thank you so much, sir. Our next award is in the Emerging HR Business Partner Supply Chain, and this is for transforming HR into a proactive business-aligned function by leveraging technology and talent frameworks to drive impact across the supply chain ecosystem. And this goes to Ms. Shilpika Jain, HR VP, Owens Carning, and Shilpika, you will have to help me with the rest of your designation. India partner, global partner, and all of that. It was too big, went long to write it here. So Shilpika Jain, HR VP, Owens Corning, as the Emerging HR Business Partner Supply Chain. Our next category is for the Future CHRO Award, and this we deliberately looked at somebody who was young, somebody who was a go-getter and had lots and lots of ideas during the entire series that we had starting in February. And this is because this person made a future-ready HR leader. He's a future-ready HR leader who drives digital transformation. He's a talent strategist, and he's the ability to deliver measurable business growth. And this person was the one who actually started the seed of इसको ना यार in person करते हैं. So ये 21 days का जो हाराकिरी हुआ है हमारे साथ, this person is responsible for it. And the award goes to Mr. Sheikh Abidin, Associate Vice President, Dwara KGF, and so, apart from the award, a big thank you from my end, by the way. Personal. He was when he put up his nomination, and we were looking at the entire details of the journey, and from a bubbly, chirpy person, it was unbelievable. कि ऐसा भी होता है. Mr. Abidi, now that you have actually forced us to do this, you have to continue with us.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. The next award is in the Emerging HR Leader of the Year award. And the person has led enterprise-wide workforce transformation, delivering productivity, compliance, and EBITDA gains. And that's important because just a while back we were talking about being business enablers. And through data-driven manpower optimization and digital HR system across complex operations. And the award goes to Mr. Rajan B. Sawant, Vice President, Corporate HR, Indoco Remedies Limited. So, I was just thinking while the award is being given that मेरे को तो एक paragraph पढ़ना है. The problem or the interesting part is that the 4 gentlemen actually did all of this. The jury. The next award is the Emerging L&D Leader of the Year, and the person built a zero-cost, manager-led L&D model, transforming a low-credibility function into a scalable, business-aligned capability engine, impacting even the last-mile employee. Wow. And the award goes to Dr. Arpita Sen, Associate Vice President, Head of Learning and Organization Development, Hitachi Payment Services Limited. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. And the next award in this award section is the Rising Star in Organization Development. And this person, along with the team, of course, designed and scaled a high-impact leadership development program, building a strong pipeline through targeted capability building, coaching, and measurable performance outcomes. And I've personally seen this, this entire journey that was written there, and interestingly, they have a 7-year plan building 200 people in the leadership development, and this was amazing. And the award goes to Ms. Vasudha Subhash Saraswat, Deputy Manager, SFS Global Group India Private Limited. The last time I saw such a program was with Larsen and Toubro LDI, Finance and Accounts, who had a similar 8-year program. So, impressive. So much. The next one is the best learning strategy linked to business outcomes. The person transformed L&D into a revenue-generating growth engine through business-aligned AI-enabled learning strategies, which delivered impact on onboarding, capability, and business profit. All three. Wow. And the award goes to Ms. Asha Rai Badana, CA Manager, Learning and Development, Ajmera Tires Private Limited. Just in case you wanted to know, these were the jury members. Mr. Naveen Goyal, Sun Pharma, Mr. Harish Dayani from Aditya Birla Health, Mr. Satej Mehta from Work Hard, and Mr. Prashant Nair, you just heard him from Crompton Greaves. So, they're not here, but thank you so much to all of these gentlemen for actually putting in their efforts. And 58 applications, that too within about 4 days, was a big deal. And by the way, the first batch of award winners, if you are thinking that ये क्या हुआ कोई bias है, certificate तो मेरा उनको दिया, मेरा को नहीं दिया, तो ऐसा नहीं है. वही 21 days में जब आप event manage करते हो, तो these kind of things happen. The certificates arrive late. so can't help it, right? So I'm not leaving any moment of telling all of you that, sir, अगली बार थोड़ा 2 महीना देना. Right. With this, I will request our next keynote speaker, Mr. Satyashil Vatsa, Vice President HR, Corporate COE, Vodafone India Limited. And sir, thank you so much for gracing this event. And I have your PPT already, so I'll just Play it on. So something which I missed out. So his topic that he's going to speak on is the future workforce. How do you manage the generational shift? And I'm sure all of you are having some kind of, not issue, but excitement with the Gen Zs in your workforce, I'm sure.
Thank you, Debashish. And thanks, Crossroads. Thanks, Xapsol. And thank you, everyone. We'll start this. But I will need your participation to work through this. Right? The topic is such, to me at some level it looked very simple, at many level it looks very complex. Do we really know all generations? I'll navigate through some presentations and let's see if I can work with that, create some curiosity. Some of the things may have a little bit of my personal bias, which is natural for a speaker. And some of it may have some controversies. So please feel free to agree and disagree both. Yeah? There will be some questions I'll ask you, just to sense that we are there in this together. Yeah? Can you guess what is no cap? Yeah? Can you raise your hand? How many people can guess? Okay, that gives me a sense. Please don't say anything. We'll work with that. How do you manage generational shift? Does this sound familiar? The children now love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority. They show disrespect for elders and love chatter in place of exercise. They no longer rise when elders enter the room. They contradict their parents, chatter before company, gobble of food and tyrannize their teachers. What do you think, who had said this comment? How long? Is it about this generation? No? Last generation? Last to last generation? A year back? 10 years back? 100 years back? 1,000 years back? 2,500 years back. Cynicism is cyclical. It has been running through each generation. Every new generation thinks they are better than the last one. Every elder generation thinks that the new generation is the worst thing that has happened. Not Socrates, not Aristotle, and you can find a lot of references there. What do they think? They are lazier. They have worse values. Civilization will not survive. Every generation was wrong about the next one, but they were also right in some sense. This cynicism we'll see has a function, and this cynicism we'll see is very, very cyclical. Because if we don't understand this, we'll not understand multi-generational workforce. Let me put up another thing. The second concept. 800 lifetimes. This is from a book called The Future Shock by Alvin Toffler. He wrote this book when AI was not on the horizon. And what he did, he said that if we can divide from the time we arrived on Earth, which was, say, 50,000 years back, and if the average human lifespan would be, say, 60 or 62 years, then you have this 800 generations. What happened in these 800 generations? 650 generations, it's good to know that we lived in caves. Right? And you can see that. Last 70 generations, we started speaking. Last 6 generations, we had printed words. The Gutenberg came, and the printing press came. Last 4 generations only, we could measure time with precision. Time is a concept. It is not there in nature. Last 2 generations, we had electricity. Whatever we have been discussing in last 1 hour has happened only in 1 generation, in last 60 years. What does it mean? The pace of change is astronomical. People were saying it is going at a net-breaking speed. What does that mean? Our capacity to absorb is going down. We have limited capacity to absorb. There is something called a Miller's number, 5 to 7 things at a second. But we can't absorb anything beyond this adaptive range. What will happen? Another perspective. Just look at this. How long did it take technology to reach 50 million? Telephone 75 years, radio 35 years, television 13 years, internet 4 years, Facebook 3.5 years, Twitter 2 years, Insta 18 months, ChatGPT. I have just represented it. It wouldn't fit in the graph. It is 0.002 inches. 5 days. This is what technology is doing to us. By the way, we took thousands and thousands of years to develop the language we are speaking. So what does it mean? Is AI making us stupid? Is it? What does the research says? It has happened before. Every time there has been a technology breakthrough, people said that it is for bad. We had this concept of Shruti and Smriti. When people started writing, and it happened more in Greek culture, Aristotle and Socrates says that by writing, you are destroying your power to think. Come to 1400. When printing press came, people said, you will stop memorizing. In 1800s, when the novel breakthrough happened, a lot of novels being written, people said that it will destroy the character of men and women specifically. Such was the bias. When television came, and this one, many of us, most of us would remember, it was called an idiot box because it will destroy our thinking ability. And when internet comes, there's a person called Nicholas Carr. He has written a book called Shallows. I think we must refer to it or read it if possible. He is saying that Google will make us stupid. Is it? That's the question I am willing to explore today. These are the generations, broadly. Baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. How will you describe baby boomers? One word. Any guess? How would you describe Gen X? Yeah? So there is something. If you are to describe baby boomers, the word is architect. They were deep learners. Read from the book. They will remember the policies, give you the clause, which page. Their judgment AI can't replace. Gen X, we call them the fixer. They are the bridge. They have learned deep. They saw internet coming, and they are still working with AI. If you are in this generation, then you had the best of both worlds. Who are the millennials? They are the campaigners. They have started the change. But it is the Gen Z who are the destroyers or the disruptors, as you may like it. What happens? Is it really making things worse for us? Just because they have stopped deep reading? Gen Z is a generation which was born, and the first thing they see is a mobile device or any kind of device with AI. And they spend next 15 years doing that. It's rewiring their brains. Their neurotypes are changing in a way we can't even imagine. Some examples. Because the examples help, theory doesn't help. If you can just check the first one, the transaction which happens between a boomer and Gen Z. Boomer sends a 400-word mail. Gen Z reads the first line, replies noted. Boomer thinks Gen Z is dismissive. Gen Z thinks Boomer is wasting his time or her time. Why write such a long thing? They have different reading brains. They don't want to write that much. Noted is good enough. Even that is long. Nicholas Carr documented how web reading has F pattern now. People scan top line, left column, then abandon. Your employees aren't lazy. Their brains have been rewired or are getting rewired. Optimized for skimming for 15 years of scrolling. Gen Z has 8 seconds attention span. And this is most misused phrase in the net. Why? Because it has given them one more thing. It has given them parallel processing. They can process parallelly so many things. And if there is choice, they can see long YouTube videos also. So don't tell that their attention span is less. A quick quiz. No cap. Remember that? What is the HR meaning of these words? Which Gen Z will tell you. It's giving. Slay. I didn't understand. My daughter is doing her master's from Mumbai University. So I had to cross-check with some of them. Do you relate? No? You are in our generation. Will not. Any one of them? You said no cap. What is no cap? Casual. Right? What is touch grass? What is main character? Just check this out. No cap is no exaggeration. It is what it is. It's giving, it means it feels like it resembles. Somebody tells you it is giving, you try to rework on it. They have given you a signal, it's not working. Slay is executed with excellence. If they give you slay, be happy with it. Gen Z has acknowledged you. Low key is not working. It ain't it. It isn't the right approach. Main character is that they want to be visible, they want to contribute, they want to own, they want to take this up forward. Understood the assignment, be happy. They have just owned up the entire thing. And touch grass, rework. You have just destroyed it. We don't understand their language. You know what? Some of the myths are still getting broken. We used to believe in 10,000 hours of skilling and 10,000 hours of specialization. This is changing now. There's a book called Range by David Epstein, written in 2019 or something. He talks of two kinds of environments. Kind learning environment and wicked learning environment. Kind learning environments are linear. Any sports, chess, golf, cricket, you play, you get a situation, you action it, you get a response. Specialization works there. Any wicked environment, business, world, what Trump is doing, all a wicked environment, nobody knows what will happen next. Linear thinking will not work. You do as much specialization, it will still not work. There are a lot of examples of late starters who started late, but they had range of skills and they succeeded. If they are sampling, if Gen Zs are job hopping, they are not job hopping, they are sampling, they are getting experience of different things. And maybe they'll specialize later. There's a classic case of Roger Federer and Tiger Woods. Roger Federer played everything else except tennis till he was 18. And it made him a different and the best tennis player, also a better human being, if you can align that. Tiger Woods had played only golf, professionally great. Look at his personal crisis. He's jumping from one personal crisis to other. What would you like to be in your life? And then connect all unlike things. I'm skipping some of the narratives. It is there. If you want, I can share with all of you. The second piece, therefore, is this. What do you think as human beings, the skills we should have? And I have something written here. How many skills we should have? And it's again from a book. I'll give the reference of the book. It says, a human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a hog, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations, analyze a new problem, pitch manure, work with AI, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently, die gallantly. Specialization is for insects. This is from a book called Time Enough for Love. It's a science fiction. But fiction always and most of the time explain human behaviors better than a self-help book. What does it say? From I-shaped skills, we have moved to T-shaped skills. From T-shaped skills, we have to move to M-shaped skills. Specialization in not one thing, but multiple things. And I'll also explain in some time how we have lived with this all these years. This is the workforce. Let's see what is going to come. The workforce today has 5 generations. Most of the policies have been written for one generation, either for the baby boomers or for millennials, or like startups, maybe for Gen Z. Not for everyone. And the managers have been trained for none. When you go to meeting room, how do you feel? A master class, a Netflix drama, a group therapy session? Or you say, what are meetings? What's going to happen in immediate future is this, or it is happening now. 5 generations with 77% disengagement. Attrition going, turnover going 3x time. But wait, 2027, 75% of workforce will be from millennials and Gen Z. With 8-second attention span. And Gen Z will start valuing culture more than pay. Culture is going to be new compensation if data is going to be new oil. They value work, they value ambience, they value ways of working much more than the pay that they get. Are we ready for this? What's going to happen in next 10 years? 26, we are here. 27, it has happened in some places. It may take a little longer time. 4 days work week. 28, Zen Alpha enters. 29, purpose-linked compensation comes. 30, reverse mentoring becomes mandatory. 31, manager as a job goes. You have integrator, coach, system architect. 22, boomers' knowledge becomes strategic competitive advantage. Now your time is coming back. Slow thinking becomes a competitive advantage. You don't have to worry about ourselves, right? Apna time aayega. 33, attention as a span is a leadership KPI. 34, generational conflict declines because Gen Z start creeping about Zen Alpha. Cynical cycle has started again. 35, 70-year-olds. It never stopped. And 20-year-old are on the same agile squad by their choice and not by compliance. What is the synthesis? This is the choice. So if you combine Toffler, which was written in 70s, and by the way, most of the predictions of Toffler came true. He didn't live to see those. And Carr, who wrote Shallows in 2010. We are saying generations are not variables. Change velocity is. You are managing 800 lifetime of change in one generation. It's huge, it is humongous. The leader's job is to transition and ensure that transition happens, the bridge is created. So this is the prediction. That we need to have anticipatory management. It's a fancy term for having more connects and proactive connects with all generations. And the paradox is, the changes that we are very proud of, the technology that we are very proud of, the AI which we are very proud of, is making us slow. That is the paradox. These are the key four things I think perhaps we discussed in the last 20-25 minutes. Specialization is for insects is a metaphor for saying that you need to have multiple specialization. Breadth of experience is the path for depth of impact. The shock isn't the change, it is the pace of change. And deliberate depth is a competitive advantage. How do we create this? I have a simple story. Perhaps you had heard this. Blockbuster had option to buy Netflix in 2004. The average age of Blockbuster's team in 2004 was 57 years. Netflix went to them, said, "Can you buy us? We don't want to be in this business," for 50 million. They say, "What will you do? What will we do with you?" One junior folk said that people don't want to commute. They want to see movies at their home. They said, "Who has more experience?" 2010, just 6 years after that, Blockbuster went bankrupt. Netflix is 280 billion today. What is the lesson? Some of the things we are doing in V, and perhaps many of you are doing, I thought I'll just capture it, that we are in the right direction. We have CHROs connects with our WILPs on a weekly basis. This is something we have changed from last year. We ensure that they have safe space to express In one of the safe space, and that's the story I wanted to share. So our CHRO asked them, and it was an informal discussion, that how long you intend to stay. While somebody said 3 years, while somebody said I'll have a long career. One person said I'll stay only for 1 year. You have to live with those comments and not question or try to convince. And then she herself said that, look, I want to pick up different experiences and not frog in the well for so many years. You have to respect that. Segmented learnings, coaching and reverse mentoring we have institutionalized. And we ensure that they get the business project, they get access to strategic projects so that we can pick up their mind and in turn they can be groomed. But these are something which everyone knows. Perhaps. There's always a difference between knowing and doing. Stop managing generations. Manage neurotypes, because the way different generations think are different. It's not about their personality. It's not about the value system. It's about how we are managing the pace of change. Reverse mentoring. Design work to choose engagement. Build psychological safety. Communicate in layers, same messages, various ways. But there's something which stayed with me while I was doing all this. Remember this? Jack of all trades. We have been past this insult from 400 years. 400 years back this phrase was created. But it only said half the phrase. The full phrase goes like this. A jack of all trades is master of none, often better than master of one. This is the time. The research says this. There are so many examples around us. Now people are talking about M-shaped skills. And that is the advantage. How it will work. And how it has transitioned. I'm going a little quick just to put more emphasis on certain things. When industrialization started, the focus was on I-shaped, only one skill. In next 200 years, we moved from I skill to T-shaped skills. And in last 20 years, we have moved to T-shaped to M-shaped skills. The future is M-shaped plus. This is perhaps how it will look like. You need to have multiple skills. AI skill plus people skill. Data skill plus commercial skill. Commercial skill plus technological skill plus people skill. And we need to be good at all. And this is not for HR, by the way, alone. I would finish with this one. It's our perception gap which matters. Generation gap is not actually there. I'll also share how I created this. Started with the scribbling, older generation. Took out books, older generation. Put it on Claude, newer generation. 3-4 iteration between Claude and different AI tools. Gave the final product to my daughter. Dekh lo bhai, tumhare hi bare mein hai. Right? And before coming here, took a printout. A trainer is always confident with printouts, even if I'm not using it. So this is all from my side. I hope you liked it. Any questions? I may not be able to answer, but I will happy to take. Yeah.
Okay, if we are considering a manufacturing sector or an old school company, okay, When we say we have multiple generations, I'm taking bits from the conversations that we had from the morning in the various sessions. If you have someone who's really old in the system, like 10, 15 years, they become complacent and that's the way they work. They are not willing, they will resist every change that comes in this picture. Everything that comes, no, this is not how we want to do, this is not how we have been doing it, XYZ. Then you have the new generation who comes with a new perspective that I want to do it, and that is what takes you to the growth to the next level. Old generation doesn't want to do it. New generation doesn't want to abide to the old generation. How do you bridge that gap? How do you make both of them come on a parallel line? We understood the differences. How do you bridge it? Something.
See, I have one word or two word solution. It depends on how the organization or people are going to take it. If you have somebody who will not just budge, right, there is no solution to it. But reverse mentoring works in a big way, right? And if it doesn't start with that, you start with coaching, so that the ego of elder generation is satisfied, and then you put the reverse mentoring. You actually want to do reverse mentoring, but you start with coaching.
Sir, I want to add to what ma'am said. We have parents who are 80 years and plus. In their times, they never saw that they would have had land phones, but they are right now on Instagram, on Facebook, on WhatsApp. If they can do it, so can anybody else. So it's all about the mindset and how you get them to do it. So often with older generation, you don't push them. You respect their age, give them their knowledge and experience, but cajole them to get this.
Yes. Create that environment, I think they will be there. See, I have reverse example also. I used to think that new generation will only like to read on mobile and tablet and Kindle. So I gave Kindle to my daughter, still lying. She says, get me a book. So we sometimes assume things of how people will and what they will like.
Okay, so hello everyone, myself Tanya. So as I heard a lot about Gen Zs, millennial, baby boomers and all, so I fall into Gen Z. So any Gen Zs in the house? I think I am the one.
Yes, couple of.
Oh, great. So people who are baby boomers or our parents, like the millennials or whosoever are, the perspective is different, obviously. We come up with new ideas. But as I am into HR, and that too a Gen Z, so a lot of discussions happen with my CMD that vibe nahi match kar raha hai in the work culture. So he asked me, what is vibe for you? So that's what we do is, we put some stickers on the desktops of somebody, if somebody is doing good. So he said, what's the meaning of doing that? So I told that in the morning, if somebody is coming, and if the colleague or peer is giving a wall of thanks, for example, that he or she has done something good in the whole weekend, so he will feel very proud, and like he will feel very special that somebody is recognizing us. So we need a space, a spotlight, so that people can see us and we will be recognized. That is how we want. We are not worried about money, because that we are getting from our parents. We are not worried about lands, because that our parents will be having. Luxury we are getting. We only need we are doing the job just for our experience. We want to make a little change in the environment, because yes, coming to policies, yes, it's not written clearly, to be very honest. It's not mentioned clearly, because policy according to the people, it got changed. कि अगर वो 18 साल से कंपनी में है, अरे तो he is very loyal, we will not do anything. But अगर कोई जनसी है, निकालो इसको.
Your name?
Tanya Singh.
Tanya Singh.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this, what you said, but I was holding myself bringing this up.
Thank you.
This generation, and the research says that, why they don't value job and others generation did, because we have huge amount of job insecurity. This generation doesn't, because their parents have done enough. Yeah, and therefore they can work with what they think. They can work with their mind and heart. The other generation will work with their mind. Kya hoga? What next?
She made a very beautiful example, and it's all the power of appreciation and inspiration. I will give you the example of my mother. My mother is 75 years. She uses Facebook, and when she does a post, she comes and asks me, Baba, kitna likes aaya? Right? So, it's just about whether she is getting noticed or appreciated or not. Yesterday, my son was saying, the point example you mentioned about noted, right? He was saying, Papa, you have to be a goat. I don't know, what is goat? Right?
Yeah.
So, greatest of all times, right? Then, I don't know, wow. So, they speak in acronyms. So, it's just when you appreciate somebody, it is whether it is Gen Z or the millennials or the, baby boomers, it all gets, they get inspired to do the particular activity.
Yeah. I think we have to realize, all older generation, I'll come to you, that we have to give the world or business or organization or workplace or anything the way they want. Ultimately, it's going to go to them. It's not going to stay with us. So we have to give them in the way they want and not in the way we want to give them. The better we understand, the sooner we understand, the better it is. You had a question. And then.
Sure.
I think all the three generations we are talking about, 3 or 4 maybe, because in our house also I have a baby boomer, my mother, I have my daughter who is Gen Z, and I am in Gen X. So this is how in every organization also we are facing that. One word helps, that is empathize. If we empathize each other, I think the work becomes easy. But if we try to maintain ego and try to maintain what we have been doing, like for example, I and my daughter often have conflict because she will want to do the things in her way. I, as a mother, I think she is not obliging. She's not obliging me. I mean, she needs to listen to me. No, not that. If I empathize with her and understand why she is doing her way and how my mother have taught me I have been doing that way, then I think the solution is there. Yeah. So even in our organization, like I also work with a traditional setup, and there are always things which which senior people, very baby boomers, they would like not to be done. They would not like, what is change management? Doesn't help. But now, we have approach like empathize. What they say, if we honor, slowly we will be able to, understand, yes. And they will be understanding us. And that is the way, I believe.
Yeah. Can't agree more.
Yeah, thank you.
You had a question. And then you.
So I can so resonate with the thought that you said, right? The jack of all, master of none. And I would always ponder, thanks for, giving me an answer there. I think it's always the gap between aspiration and the opportunity, right? So recently, one of my reportees, had to put down a paper with the aspiration of doing mountaineering. So quite a senior in HRPP, but was parallelly pursuing, mountaineering course, right? Yeah. For some, time, I felt, can I retain her the best that I could, right? But it's always about, I think, this generation talking more on the aspiration, and then can we provide that scope to them that would you like to take a sabbatical, do this course, and then come back and join? Yeah. I think if we bridge that gap between aspiration and opportunity, I think we could definitely gel in. Yeah. And just to give back a personal example, so my child used to call my mother Akka. Okay? He started when he was small with the word Akka, then Aji, and now he calls her bro. So that's a cultural shock, but I think I think she's been very adaptive. My father still can't get the bro part of it. He still wants him to call Azoba. Yeah. But yeah, that's the way. I think they both are trying to align the new generation in different way and a different mindset, right? Yeah. So Aji is more of a goat. Yeah. Azoba is trying to be.
Yeah. Internet is changing our language whether we like it or not.
I just want to add to what she mentioned. Empathizing is one thing, but I also believe vulnerableness, because there's lots to learn from the new generation also. Like we learn from the elders, obviously, with their wisdom, but the new generation is also bringing a lot of newness. So vulnerableness is something which requires both ways.
Yeah. This generation has grown with AI, has seen COVID so early in their life. Their wisdom, when they reach our age, would be multiple of ours. I'm 100% sure of it. Yeah.
So there are two approaches in the same framework. We believe work-life balance, and they believe life-work balance.
Yeah.
And they have a life, and to sustain their life, they work.
Yes.
So it's a very different thing, and we cannot have a same platform for that.
No.
And we see everyone has a Gen Z in their house. How patiently we are managing them. But the same we are not showing at the workplace.
Yeah.
Then how come we are saying that workplace is a family?
Double standards.
Yeah, that's the correction we need to make. The way we throw out the people, Gen Z, who are not obeying us.
Yeah.
The same, why can't we do at house?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And if you can please stay on the stage for a while, please. Can I please request Upma to come down and just honor her with the certificate? And after that, if Surabhi and Satya can also come out for a group photograph, please. No, that's Satyajit Shane and not Satyavatsal Sheel. Satya. So, sir, sir, if you can be at the center of the stage. So, Upma, if you can just please hand over and present, sir, the certificate. Thank you so much, sir. And what we'll do is we'll just break for a quick 15 minutes tea break, please. And while we go for the tea break, I'll request everyone to go outside and gather for a group photo. Where is that? We can do it here itself. Can we just give us 2 minutes, please, for the group photo out here? Thank you so much, please. Thank you so much. No, Nietzsche. All of us will